I'm absolutely delighted today to get to visit with someone that, boy, I worked with. You told me in the newsroom it's been 26 years.
And we want to share
that long?
26 years ago. We sat in this very studio. Remember, you were the weekend anchorman.
Yes, I was.
And I did weather and sports. How did I ever get that gig? I knew nothing about weather. I knew a little bit about sports, but nothing about weather.
Well, you know, in this size market, you got to be a jack of all trades.
Well, we were at least that.
You know? Gosh, I wish we had about 2 hours. We got about 3.5 minutes. Anyhow, this year, now that you're with CBS, you have basically, well, I should say last year, 1999, you dealt with plane crashes. Boy, you had a busy year.
Oh, I mean, it was a terrible year. I mean, it really was a terrible year. If you look at just the headlines, you get the idea, gee, it's not safe to be on an airplane.
Right.
Well, it really is all right. Airplane crashes are still an aberration, but when they happen, they're big news. And last year we had JFK, we had King Stewart, we had Egypt Air, we had the crash in Little Rock.
Right.
It was a tiring year, and a depressing year, frankly.
And I'm going to jump here because I just want to get so many things in. All right. Are you stuck there, I mean, in the airplane segment, so to speak?
That's what I keep asking.
Yeah, okay.
Am I stuck right here? Well, you know, when I took the airplane beat in 1993, I didn't take it because I was an expert. I took it because nobody else was doing it. Nobody wanted to do it. And I've kind of learned on the job. And unfortunately, we've had too many crashes where I learned. Now, after 7 years doing that, I really do know a few people. I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And the network's anxious to keep me there. I would like to do something else, but only because, you know, you guys in this business, you have to do something new.
Right. And that's not to say that you couldn't be called to do something with the Elian Gonzalez situation.
In fact, yesterday, as I was telling you before we went on the air, I sat at a desk for much of the day, waiting to go on and do network live bulletins in the event something happened. But nothing happened, and I don't think anything's going to happen today.
Okay.
And this one's going to drag into next week.
Yeah, actually, Kathy just said that probably in a hiatus of sorts over the weekend. Biggest change, as you see it, from Channel 7, local television, to CBS, and obviously, you know, the national exposure. What's the biggest?
Well, the business is the same, and the people are basically the same. We do the same thing. We do the same thing here that I do there. The biggest change is what's happened to the overall business. When you and I did the news, Steve, there were 2 local stations and 3 Pittsburgh stations, and cable was around, but not everybody had cable.
Exactly.
No one heard of the internet. Nobody had satellite dishes.
Right, absolutely.
Now there are a zillion choices. You know, you got the clicker at home, 120 channels.
Right.
Never anything on, but 120 channels.
Okay.
And the competition is really, really tough. And I think it's affecting you guys just like it affects us. But the business is the same. You know, it's picking up the phone, making the phone calls, getting the information, writing the stories, trying to make the deadline, arguing with the producers and the directors.
Sure. And trying to get both sides.
The same game.
What's next for Bob Orr?
Gee, I don't know. You know, I've often wanted to be the play-by-play voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates, but Lanny Frateri's got that job now.
Okay.
So I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. I've been doing this since 1974, when I started here in the studio with you. So I've got a lot invested in this. I'm still having a good time. I'm still having fun. It's still a challenge. I think from time to time when I'm having a bad day, maybe I'll go do something else. But then I stop and say, well, what? I'm not necessarily qualified to do anything else. I think for now, they asked me when I was 18, what do you want to do when you grow up? I still don't think I can answer that.
Okay. Yeah. But that makes sense. Yeah. And I can understand. Of course, the nice thing is, and I'm sure you know this, that in this business, things do change from day to day. Sure. And there is something else to look forward to when you come in next Monday or Tuesday or whatever the case might be.
Especially in what I do. I mean, you know, the bane of my existence is the pager that I have on my belt. If that pager goes off, I pray that it's not certain numbers, because I know if that's the case, if something really awful, something big has happened. And I never know. The biggest challenge for me is I never know day to day where I'm going to be tomorrow. And if I'm gone, how long I'm going to be gone. Egypt Air happened. I was on the coast of Rhode Island for 10 days. So it's very tough to have a normal life in that kind of an arena. But you know what? You get in the news business for a reason. And so it's still a challenge. It's still fun.
Mom and Dad still here in Bethlehem.
They're doing well, and I'm so happy about that. Yeah. My family's doing well, and you guys don't look any different at all. I came in to see you and John Dominic today.
Yeah, but how many of us are still around that you remember from 26 years ago, though?
I think 5 we counted.
About 5, yeah. All right. And see, John's hair was brown. I had hair, and it was brown when you left here that many years ago.
But it's been really fun to come back. I mean, this has been a great kick for me to come down.
And you've made some nice stops on the way. Philadelphia, Columbus.
I was in Columbus twice. I was in Philadelphia for 4 years. It's been a fun run all the way along. Well, and I'm having a great time here. And I'm really glad that you invited me back today, because this has been a big kick.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's certainly a pleasure having you back. Don't make this mean, come back more often. We'll make room for you.
I would love to do it. Thanks
The women are in for a treat this afternoon. Well, we've got some scores to tell you about right after the break.